Anything to say, Michael, before we begin?
Just that I'm more worried about the Fanta virus, which is coming from Europe in orange soda bottles. It's very dangerous.
The Mark Thompson Show.
He knows all manner of entertainment offerings, streaming, film, television. He knows the world of music. I don't know how he does it. Calls himself the Culture Blaster. He comes and goes on a rainbow. He's the wonderful Michael Snyder, everyone. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Mark. Hi, Kim, the only real mother amongst us. And, of course, Albert and everybody out there. Mother's Day is this Sunday, and you know what they say about mothers, right? Everybody has one or had one. And so a shout out to yo mama, my mama, everybody's mama. Happy Mother's Day to all. And speaking of Mother's Day and sweet treats, still no sign of a Sweet 106 cupcake for
well,
me, Mark.
We did actually order them for you, but you know what? Because you're complaining about it so much, I'm going to have the order pulled back.
Yeah, you're going to spike it. I figured as much.
Okay.
So much for the green room, or my future indulgence.
No,
but
I love it. I actually, the thing I love about Michael Snyder is that he leads with a complaint.
Yeah,
I love that. I think that's I actually have mad respect for that. It's a weird strategy, but it actually, with me, I respect it.
I got more complaints coming. Here's one topical one before we get to the movies. How about all those Supreme Courts out there, huh? Supremely partisan, supremely biased, supremely corrupt.
Oh.
I am going to record my own version of John Coltrane's signature track, A Love Supreme, and revise it to Me No Love Supreme. And I think it's going to be a big seller amongst the jazz heads, or maybe
no love for the Supreme Court.
No, sir. I do love the first movie we're going to talk about today. I was shocked and delighted at how good it was. The Sheep Detectives is one of my favorite feature films of the year to date. It's warm, it's amusing, it's humane, and it's actually a mix of live action and animation.
Oh, wow.
It's filled with computer animated sheep. And you're thinking, how is this, filled with emotion as well? And again, it's one of my favorite films of the year. It is a perfect, Kim, family movie with endearing and thoughtful messaging. Speaking of somebody or someone who would appeal to a wide audience, it stars Hugh Jackman as a kind-hearted shepherd whose residential trailer and flock are in a sylvan meadow on the outskirts of one of those quaint English villages that seem to retain their quaintness even in modern times. By the way, it's called The Sheep Detectives because it's a murder mystery that the sheep in the story endeavor to solve. So the shepherd reads detective novels to his flock of sheep at bedtime, and apparently they pick up a few tricks here and there in their attempt to root out the killer of someone.
So the sheep can speak?
Well, yes, obviously humans in the movie can't see or hear or understand them speaking, but through the magic of computer animation, these wildly realistic looking sheep are talking, and they're talking.
They can communicate with each other.
Yes, and they're talking in the voices of the likes of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Patrick Stewart, Bryan Cranston, and Regina Hall, just to mention a few that speak for the sheep. And there's an immensely likable live-action cast in addition to Jackman. Emma Thompson plays like a solicitor type. Molly Gordon is in this. Hong Chow plays a town local. Tosin Cole plays kind of a rival shepherd. You got Nicholas Braun and Nicholas Galitzine. There's a witty script here by Craig Mazin, and it's an adaptation of a very whimsical German book entitled Three Bags Full. And the director, Kyle Balda, previously helmed Despicable Me and Minions movies, fully animated, but he's as good with humans as he is with these shockingly realistic animated sheep. The technology is unbelievable, Mark.
Jane O actually read the book you're talking about. She said that the book Three Bags Full, which is a fun mystery, she says.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And look, as movies with animated farm animals go, this is head and shanks better than the recent Animal Farm. And I highly recommend The Sheep Detectives. It could be a perennial. I'm sure it's going to be great streaming, but I think, bring the family to the theater on Mother's Day, and mom and dad and the kids will love The Sheep Detectives. It's opening wide across America.
Rick says Mark Thompson is no sheep, although his voice would be a tremendous addition to the film. Why don't you try to work to get me some work, some voiceover work?
My only response to that is, bah.
All right.
That's not my job. Okay, let's talk about something that's not quite as appealing to me. And again, it's not that I hate the genre. It's Mortal Kombat 2, yet another video game inspired movie, and I guess
Sure.
a sequel to the first Mortal Kombat that must have done great numbers. For me, these video game inspired films seldom hit the mark. An exception would be Dungeons and Dragons with Chris Pine, which was very funny and very engaging, and almost just used the brand to attract people. And maybe they drew a few things here or there out of the video game for plot points, but it worked on its own as a movie. I love some TV shows based on video games. The Last of Us, Fallout, the animated show Arcade, which is one of the most beautiful and well-made animated programs that I've seen in the past couple of years. You can watch it on Netflix. But the Mortal Kombat movies are just, for me, battle after battle between various, representatives of different clans who are doing something. I don't know. They're trying to, in this case, defeat an evil tyrant named Shao Kahn, who's threatening this Earth realm of ours from his dimension. And there are all these kind of confusing elements of, like, where does this world where the battle goes down, where is it located? Is it, existing simultaneously with our own, and how you cross dimensions and whatever? I like the kind of details and info that makes sense. But the fuzzy world building, rules and goals, and this is kind of even fuzzier than the first Mortal Kombat film. And for all the CGI and fury, there is kind of a chintzy quality here. I just feel like the script, everything about it is so shallow and all surface that there's no emotional connection to be made. And yet you get Carl Urban as kind of an American action hero who gets sucked into this thing. Hiroyuki Sanada, who is so wonderful in Shogun, just a fantastic actor. He plays a sage, older warrior in this who comes back for one last fight, or 10 last fights. You get Rhinus and Class from these guys. Aussie actor Damon Harriman does his weasel thing. Josh Lawson and Mecca Brooks add some laughs and muscle. And you get like Adeline Rudolph, Jessica McNamee, and Tati Gabrielle providing that girl boss energy, but that wasn't enough for me to recommend this. It's kind of a mishmash. And that's
the visuals. Are you saying those were chintzy also, or not?
Well, it just looks like a video game.
Okay.
I mean, although there's some great action choreography and fight choreography, I don't know. Devoted Mortal Kombat gamers will probably go for it. I was not impressed. It is in theaters, and it opens wide today. All right, let's move on to something that I was kind of fascinated to cover. Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, The Tour, which is a music concert documentary, and it's in 3D in most locations. And the question is, what happens when a skilled, idiosyncratic, big-voiced, Grammy-winning and Oscar-winning pop singer-songwriter who has like a fervent fan base teams up with an Oscar-winning director and screenwriter to make a concert film? And by the way, this is Billie Eilish's third. And
third concert film?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
and
really?
This, though, is co-directed by Billie and James Cameron.
Wow.
No joke. Billie Eilish is kind of like the musical Malala. She enchants her audience, or, by the way, the audience is at least 3/4 female, according to what I saw in the audience shots here, and prone to sing along and weep with joy during the show.
Isn't that nice?
All of that is in 3D.
Women need that now, Michael, because this is this society that men, the patriarchal crap that we've laid down.
I bring up Malala because Billie presents as a strong young woman in the androgynous garb who inspires acceptance and kindness to all. And the performance here is terrific. The sound and vision, stunning. The 3D is state-of-the-art. And the backstage footage, and there's like intimate moments with Billie, some of which are with James Cameron, they're uplifting, and they show her as a genuine, caring, and grateful person who's kind of on a mission. And the songs she does for the film include a bunch from her third and most recent album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, as well as some of my personal Eilish faves like Bad Guy, Happier Than Ever, and the profoundly moving Oscar winner, What Was I Made For, from the Barbie movie. Remember, she also won an Oscar for No Time to Die from the James Bond film. She does not do that one. There's sweet duet action with her brother and musical collaborator Phineas, who wasn't on tour with her for this, but shows up for a brief segment in the latter part of the show as kind of a surprise gift to the audience. Billie is incredibly athletic, I mean, she's a constant dervish in motion throughout the movie and show. She's got the crystalline singing voice, and she's got this kind of winsome charm. The set's monumental. With
All right,
Cameron,
I'll ding Winsome. I mean, the guy just is like
with Cameron involved, I expected her to
crystalline.
maybe.
I thought I would have done that.
Yeah,
but
I kind of expected she'd fight an alien or a Navi from his Avatar films, but no.
Sure.
Lovely. It's in theaters across the country.
Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, it's called.
Yes.
The
Okay.
tour, yeah.
Here is a total outlier, something you wouldn't believe is wonderful, and it is absolutely special. It's called Silent Friend. And Silent Friend is a movie which is directed by the Hungarian director and screenwriter Ediko Enyedi. And this guy first came to prominence, as far as I know, in like 1989 with a dramedy called My 20th Century. And every few years he puts out a film. And this movie, Silent Friend, is set largely in a botanical garden in a university town in Germany. And there's this massive ginkgo tree in the middle of it. And the entire movie revolves around the ginkgo tree and the people who fixate on it, who kind of investigate it in a kind of botany style.
They're
experimental
arborists.
stuff.
It's
And it goes through three eras. In 2020, a neuroscientist named, I don't remember his name, but he's played by Tony Leung, who is just a Hong Kong action hero and serious actor. He was in Shang-Chi, Infernal Affairs, and was in one of the most romantic movies in all of cinema, In the Mood for Love. So Tony Leung plays this scientist who is trying to figure out how babies think and process information, and he tries to experiment with the tree. There's also a section in 1972 where a student at the university kind of finds his life impacted by this tree and what's going on around it, and a young woman who is also doing botany experiments with it. And it goes all the way back to 1908, where the university has its first female student, and she's a photographer, and she starts seeing all of these sort of universal truths in her investigation of the tree. It is original, lovely, and kind of quietly enveloping a movie about a tree. Beautifully written, acted, and shot. And it's amazing how compelling a gentle, studied movie like this can be, even at almost 2.5 hours. And I was never bored for a moment watching Silent Friend. It's
Silent Friend.
Select theaters. I hope your theater is selected, as we like to say. Okay, a little disappointed here because, well, I'll explain why. Couples Weekend is sort of a mix of comedy and drama as two couples meet together on a New Year's weekend for a getaway at a cozy rental house in the wooded mountainous area north of New York City. And the two couples are played by terrific performers, including Alexandra Daddario as a woman involved in a relationship with a character played by Daveed Diggs, who is a Bay Area native. We loved him in Snowpiercer. Two Broadway babies and film and TV actors Josh Gad and Ashley Park play the other couple, and they come to this little cabin in the woods, and something happens. The two couples, I guess the character played by Daddario and the character played by Gad, are lifelong friends, and they're there with their mates, and the couple who are lifelong friends go out on a little hike. They come back, and they see through a window that the Daveed character and the character played by Ashley Park are having sex. This is astonishing. So it throws the whole weekend into a tumult. This is written and directed by Nora Kirkpatrick.
So those two are not the married couple.
They are not. And so they have to decide how to approach this infidelity.
They're getting it on with each other, even though it's outside of their...
Right. And so the other couple sees them and has to process what's going on. Our buddy Kevin Pollak is the fifth character in the movie.
Is that right?
And he's like the owner of this fancy cabin in the woods. There's a heating problem, so he has to come in and fix it. So he's embroiled in it. And I love seeing Kevin on screen.
Sure. Also, he completes the Bay Area connection. Then
you got him and you got Diggs.
That's what I mean.
It's kind of great.
Yeah.
But the script by Kirkpatrick is a little overcooked. Things go out of control when they drink some weird spiked old booze that they discover in the basement. I wish it was better. So much talent involved. And shout out again to our pal Kevin Pollak, who is good in whatever he does. This is in theaters select theaters, and it's streaming on demand. It's called Couples Weekend. I wish I could endorse it more.
I love that premise that they are going for a couples weekend and then they catch, the two getting it on.
Yeah, the infidelity. I mean, there are moments, and all four of them, leaving Kevin out of the equation, all four of them are so talented. Ashley Park is a great singer. She's the best friend on Emily in Paris. You know her. And I don't know. I wished it was better, but here we go.
What was the name of I want to say Clive Owen was in it. It was a stage show that they made into a movie with Jude Law. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I do. I don't have it.
But it was the same premise that I think there was sort of infidelity informing a lot of the action. Anyway,
is it the thing with Natalie Portman? Could that be it?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. Right.
I
I want to say the close or something was in it. Anyway, I'll think of it. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to go foreign again. We talked about Silent Friend, but this is something even more accessible, I think. As much as I love Silent Friend, I think that two women...
Closer, it was called Closer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Closer.
Yeah,
Closer enough.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So two women, actually entitled Deux Femmes en Or, which means two golden women, is a sexy, amusing, female-empowered, and ultimately kind of frothy bit of fun set in Montreal, primarily at an eco-friendly apartment complex where two women who are next-door neighbors strike up a friendship and discover that their respective mates are not, how shall I put this, taking care of business. You've got Violette, played by Laurence Leboeuf, and she has a newborn daughter, and she's kind of feeling adrift while, unknown to her, her husband is sleeping with a coworker.
No.
Florence, the next-door neighbor, played by Karine Gontier-Hindman, is not the most attentive mother to her 10-year-old son, maybe because she's stultified by antidepressants, which kill her libido and undermine her sex life with her partner. Getting off the drugs, Florence starts to get it on with a parade of handymen, and she inspires Violette to do the same. I got to say, two women not only star in Two Women are the main forces behind it. Director Chloé Robichaud and screenwriter Catherine Léger. It's in French, Quebecois French, with English subtitles, but that shouldn't put you off it. It is so engaging and funny, and the women are just wonderful. The performances are great. And just as a side note, it's a modern version of the 1970 French-Canadian sex comedy of the same name. And it's in select theaters. Two Women. I thought it was pretty damn good.
Does Kevin Pollak show up in that one too?
Kevin Pollak plays one of the handymen, and I didn't know
Rick, for that.
I didn't know he spoke French. I was like shocked, man. I want to talk briefly before we sign off about
even play
a TV show called The Audacity, and of course we're a California show. We have roots in the Bay Area.
Sure.
And The Audacity is set in Silicon Valley. And you remember the sitcom on HBO, Silicon Valley, really funny, really dark, showing how craven and venal everybody was, and they're all jockeying for more money and more clout and whatever.
Yeah.
The Audacity has a little more dramatic weight, but it is equally funny and so off-putting. There is not a single likable character in this thing, I don't think. Billy Magnuson plays this monstrous CEO trying to keep ahead of the game, and he's dealing with acquisitions and mergers, and he is selfish, self-centered. He's like the worst human on earth, and I was so impressed. Zach Galifianakis plays somebody who's probably worse than this guy. He's like a Silicon Valley icon who's trying to leave it all behind and just continue to live on the wealth that he's accumulated. But the Billy Magnuson character wants to get him back into it. And Sarah Goldberg, who was so amazing on Barry, the Bill Hader show, plays the therapist to the tech bros. And she knows everything about what's going to happen, and she becomes compromised, and there's kind of an insider trading thing going on. Lucy Punch, the terrific comedic actress who is also starring right now in Amandaland on British television, plays the wife of the Billy Magnuson character. There is not a single likable person here, but it is so sharp and so it just draws you right in. It's called The Audacity. And it is indeed pretty audacious. Simon Helberg from The Big Bang Theory is one of the guys on the show as well.
Wow.
Glad to see he's getting work and not worrying about his residuals coming in, which will continue to make him a multimillionaire forever.
Wow. The
And,
audacity, that's called.
It's on AMC and AMC Plus. Highly recommended, The Audacity.
Look at you with all of these great offerings, Culture Blaster. The Audacity, very funny. No likable characters, which is kind of the beauty of it. There, it's an ego, it's greed, it's all in this melange of nasty.
And shot in the Silicon Valley with a lot of verity. I just can't wait to see who's going to try to screw over who.
Yeah. The Audacity is there on AMC and AMC Plus. The Two Women was the French offering that the Culture Blaster offered. Sex and French, engaging and funny. Two Women. He liked it a lot. Couples Weekend is the weekend getaway movie. It's Couples Weekend New York. Is that what it's called?
No. It's just set in that area, that kind
I
of
see, but they do
rural area north of New York.
They do get away in the New York area.
Yeah.
Couples Weekend with Alexandre Daddario and Josh Gad and Ashley Park and Daveed Diggs. And our pal Kevin Pollak, who we always all like to hear about good things from him. And while Michael celebrated the cast and celebrated the premise, he couldn't celebrate the film wall to wall because he felt it just didn't quite get there from the standpoint of script. It seemed to me, but performances were all great, is what you said.
There's a lot of obvious things happening in the script and a lot of gratuitous things to advance the story.
That's Couples Weekend. Silent Friend is the wonderful, in fact, special offering directed by the Hungarian filmmaker. Goes through three eras around this tree in the center of this.
It's a German universities on the campus. It's by the way, ginkgo trees. This is a ginkgo tree. Mm-hmm. The females drop a fruit that is the stench is so horrible, and if you step on the fruit and you're walking down a sidewalk and there's a ginkgo tree on the side, prepare to gag.
Wow.
But the male trees do not drop the fruit, but the females.
Tony Leung, the action hero, stars alongside a bunch of others. Silent Friend, he says it's wonderful. You do need to see it.
Yeah, Leah Seydoux, by the way, who played James Bond's final Bond girl in the Daniel Craig movies, is also in the movie, so she's also a familiar face.
Silent Friend is the name of that film. Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour. The third concert film from Billie Eilish, co-directed by Billie and James Cameron.
I know.
3D, sweet collaboration, behind-the-scenes stuff. You will like it if you're a Billie Eilish fan. And again, it is in wide release?
Yes, it is. And I think virtually every theater, if you know James Cameron, he probably insisted every theater must have a 3D showing.
Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour, 3D. Mortal Kombat 2 is a sequel to the first one, threatening the Earth realm from another dimension. Fuzzy world building, looks like a video game. It's got Carl Urban and Hirosuke Sanada, but sadly they were in a project that didn't quite measure up in Michael's view. Mortal Kombat 2 is in wide release. The Sheep Detectives is what we started with. It's a warm, amusing mix of live action and animation. Hugh Jackman plays the farmer in this quaint murder mystery.
He's the shepherd of a flock that he loves, and the sheep love him back, but not in that way.
Emma Thompson, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and a bunch of people are in this thing, and Michael says it really works. The sheep help solve, if they don't indeed solve themselves, this murder. I'm intrigued. It's based on that book. What's the name of the book?
3 Bags Full.
Yeah. But he likes it. It sounded to me like, the Sheep Detectives may be the pick of the litter this week.
I think in terms of a broad audience, yes, it's a genuine pleasure to see a movie that you can take the family to and not feel like a chump if you're a grown up.
And maybe Kim will do that. Take her family to Sheep Detectives.
Right,
And part of her family now, I don't know what the story is. She's got gifted kids. They're really gifted intellectually and they're gifted musically, and so they're, and they're off doing their stuff. Maybe Kim will go on her own.
This won't challenge their IQs, but it will please them.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm quite taken with all of your reviews, not only the reviews themselves, but the manner in which you provide them. Oh, great culture blaster. Thank you. You can read Michael Snyder, and that's one of the great ways to take in his stuff at thevoicesf.org. In fact, I think if you read the written word, you will enjoy him even as much as, if not more, than he is enjoyed here.
The current article is about subtitled movies and subtitles in general, and it derides people who just can't get past that. It's like walking and chewing gum at the same time, Mark. You can read subtitles while watching a movie.
Of course.
And I actually focus in on The Hunt, a terrific French TV program, and also a show that we talked about a couple days ago, last week, Detective Hole, which I also
Derides is a ding word. Thank you. We'll read it.
go.
The Voice of San Francisco. There it is. Albert has it there on screen. Michael, wonderful to see you. Happy weekend. He comes and goes. On a rainbow, he is the Culture Blaster.
It may be an exercise in futility. Go Giants! And
Michael Snyder.
we'll see you next week with Mo.